Welcome to another edition and another game show hit. This is your beloved game show host, Prince PL. Dear ladies, wow. Naia Jackson tells all on Derrick Jax'n. Yeah, baby, the game show had to touch on this topic. This is a topic that I touched on when it happened, when the bondage situation happened back in March of 2021 via Facebook Live. Yeah, via Facebook Live. So what I did was, man, I sit back, I listened to that Dear Future Wifey podcast interview with this sister, Naia Jackson, and she tells all about her journey with female influencer, counselor Derrick Jax'n, right? And I got all the information. As I get to it, the beginning, the middle, and the conclusion, which the conclusion will let y'all know what I really think of the situation. After all the dissertation of the information was gathered, and I'll let y'all know what it was. So, Naia Jackson came from Denver, Colorado. She was in a two-parent household. She had two brothers and one sister. Her father was a coach. Her mother was studying to be a chef. Her father concentrating on being a coach. He didn't mentor her or give her anything. That's what she states. He would say he gonna do this for her, but he was never around, so he never gave her the grounding and gave her the information on how a man should treat her. She was a straight A student in Denver, and then she ended up going to Tuskegee Institute, and that's where she met her future husband, Derrick Jax'n. They courted at school at Tuskegee through her meeting him through a tutoring situation, and they moved on from there to be together for 9 years. But while she was at the school, and right before she met Derrick Jax'n at the school, she suffered a situation at Tuskegee at a party, but she got sexually assaulted in a basement. She pretty much got lured by a person, by a savage, by her account, and was sexually assaulted. Then she turns around, she meets Derrick Jax'n, and what happens was, she knew when she met Derrick Jax'n, they start courting pretty much. She ended up finding out about him and his womanizing ways real quick. But she found out about the womanizing ways real quick. She still would date him, and she thought she could break him by trying to throw a diversion. She met with a guy named Fabian, her worker. And Fabian wanted to try to help her, thinking he might get her. And she turned around and tried to run a 52 fake flea flicker and staged like she was having an affair with him. Derrick Jax'n wasn't buying it. He didn't buy it. He thought, but he didn't buy it. And that failed. And Fabian tried to hit on her or whatever. And she said, I don't like you. This is a message to all men. You do not run 52 fakes with women, faking like you having a sexual relationship to get back at a man. But I digress. So after that, they ended up getting married. What happened was she ended up getting pregnant. She did have a couple of abortions before the end, but the last baby, she had a couple of abortions, and then she ended up having a baby. When he found out she was pregnant, he proposed to her. When he proposed to her via calling his mother and her mother, letting them know he proposed to her, got on a bended knee. They got married. They went to counseling and everything. And that's when he told her, when they went to counseling with the pastor or whatever, that's when he told him about her being sexual assaulted and about how he wanted him to eliminate those women. He stopped the counseling. He didn't go anymore. And they end up still getting married. What ended up happening after that, she ended up having another baby. She comes back and they end up going. She got involved in the business, keeping the books, setting up all the dates, and then she wanted to go. He said, "Come on." But when she went on that, she ended up finding out pretty much that women is all over him. She saw the groping of women all over this man. And I hate to say this, and be yes, he's a very attractive man to women's eyes. Okay, to a woman. Okay, so he is, bag of chips in a woman's mind, right? In a woman's eye. So she seen that live and in color, got very jealous. She was very naive. Then she started wanting to be in the limelight a little bit. She started fantasizing like she was Sierra and Russell Wilson, Beyonce and Jay-Z. That was not a reality of her situation. And then at the end of it all, you know what I'm saying, she found out that, then she ended up knowing, and then she ended up having a nervous breakdown because he wanted to go to the condo. He wouldn't let her go to the condo. And so she packs up and goes to Denver. But when she go to Denver, he intercepts her in Denver. And he's doing what he want to do so he can see his children or whatever. And for the 8 months, he was going back and forth from doing his uploads and his streams and his talks and writing and continuing to write his books and his lecture circuit and coming back every month for 8 months to see her and visit the kids to try to reconcile the marriage that he did. She gave a 13-point plan what he had to do. The few things he had to do was erase numbers, eliminate those women. And they ended up moving to Dallas. They moved to Dallas. After they moved to Dallas, everything was supposed to be good. Okay, but after that, in March of 2021, Tasha K came with the information of the infidelity that the public that we now know today, which put credibility on her. At the time that she was doing that bonding situation, and all y'all women was out there criticizing, she was pregnant. Okay, with the third child, she ended up becoming pregnant. She was 8 weeks pregnant. So she did it. Only reason she did it is because of the situation that she told him to do. So she said, "I'm gonna stand by this man because this man said what to do." At the time, he was supposed to be faithful. So when that information came out, he's faithful, quote, faithful at the time. So what happened after that, that's when she started going on the internet, starts talking about Psalms 109 and doing all this other stuff and preaching and using God's word, and start trying to protect herself with God's word, while trying weaponizing God's word against the people after her. You do not weaponize God's word. God's word is supposed to be an empowerment situation for people and empowerment for self. She was using God's word as a weapon. You don't do that. So and then the next thing that happened, the women start coming back up into the fold in 2020. In 2020, in about 2022, she started finding out about the women. Derrick Jax'n came back and told her, "Hey, she started trying to have the sex that the other women was having with Derrick Jax'n, which disgusted him, because women, you got to be who you are. So if you just missionary and doggy style woman, a little ride, a little thing, you trying to do all the other things, probably trying to use your anus and things like this here, that you don't really do, and that he don't want to do with his wife, you don't do that." So what he ended up doing was he told her, "Hey, we're gonna chill off for sex for 2 months." Within the 2 months, he comes back and tell her he want to file a divorce. Why did he want a divorce? He wanted a divorce because he could not live that faithful style, that faithful lifestyle that she was asking him. and he couldn't, and he was not sexually aroused by her anymore because he didn't want her to try to act like the women that he is fornicating with. So as we sum up this thing, all I want to say to the women out there in the game, you start how you finish. She met this man. This man was a womanizing man. When she met him, there was always in a situationship. It became a marriage because she got married. He loved her. He wanted to marry her because she was pregnant, and he wanted to keep her as what she was. And she was fantasizing, and she ended up changing her crown and changing who she are to try to keep him, instead of being who she are and being herself. So at the end of the day, women, be yourself in the game. This is not an anti-woman message. We don't do anti-woman messages over here. This is game. This is God anointed, maximize elevation when it comes to this game. So I hope everybody enjoys this here. This is a real quick hit. I gave you the dissertation of information of what I heard from what she said. This pretty much is an on-point summary based off the research of me watching that 3.5 hour wifey situation to give you a quick cliff note dissertation of the information of Naia Jackson, tells all on Derrick Jax'n. So I hope everybody enjoys this information that I put out. This is the Prince PL 9.5 live show. I am your beloved game show host, Prince PL, and I hope everybody out there enjoyed the information. And hey, you already know it's the games we love, the games we play, and the game we know. And you already know it's the game show.